This video is for you if you find yourself in what's commonly referred to as a midlife crisis. I'm going to show you how it's not a crisis at all. It's perfectly common and normal. It's a really good thing what's happening if you see it through in the appropriate way. And those are the steps I'm going to provide at the end of this video. 2 steps you can take today to start transforming the way you're experiencing life so that you're not having all these crazy thoughts and delusions about living another life or buying a Porsche or doing something very drastic and kind of sacrificing what you've worked so hard to build up, because what's happening is normal. You just need to follow these 2 steps. So be sure to subscribe and then ask me any questions you may have in the comment section. Why is this not a crisis? Because you're actually waking up. You're waking up to the fact that you have kind of been conditioned by society and family and others to be chasing what you believe would bring you happiness, fulfillment, and success. You went to college, you got that job, you work your way up the ladder, you got the wife, the children, the house, the white picket fence, all that stuff. And yet you find yourself in a space where you are still unhappy. Daily stresses and burdens and anxieties and worries and got to fix this and that kid did that and work's doing that. I got to put out that fire. The roof needs to be replaced. All the common things. And you're like, if I did all this stuff, I thought I would have arrived by now. I would have crossed that finish line and summited that mountain, but I haven't. And joy and appreciation and gratitude and peace, they're like theoretical. I don't experience that stuff. Maybe on the weekends a little bit, like when I'm grilling, holding a beer, having that first bite of steak. Yeah, but like between all that, it's not there. It's struggle, it's burden, it's suffering, it's anxiety, it's unwanted responsibility, and I can't take it anymore. It's unsustainable, and that is what you're waking up to. The fact that external circumstance cannot provide internal fulfillment. And this is a common thing because both the brain and the mind have a negative bias. They look at and interpret reality looking for the flaws, the fault, the stresses, the anxieties, the burden, instead of the positive aspects, the peace, the joy, the appreciation. You're literally biologically and psychologically conditioned, programmed not to find any of that gravy, that glory, that good stuff. We're looking at the negative. So the man who finds himself in this midlife awakening is getting prompted by something deeper, something ethereal, something you may call spirit or soul or the unconsciousness that is surfacing to say, we need more. We need more than the chase because it has not worked. It is unfulfilling. And we are now ready to step into a whole new way of living life so that we can find fulfillment and peace. And that is what we're going to do today. So you see, everything you've done up to this point has been checking these boxes to be successful, right? But the more success you have, when you got the job, you got the promotion, bigger bank account, 401k is doing all right, you got a few years under the belt with the marriage, you got kid 1, then 2, maybe a bigger house, nicer car, you see that you don't actually arrive, because as soon as you do, your mind creates what should be next. And it also makes you believe, the ego does, because it's very convincing, that that's when everything will come together. When you become director, when you've got the Mercedes, when you've got the 2-acre lot, whatever it is, it makes you believe that that will be the solution to what you are finding the lack of within your life now. The fulfillment, the love, the excitement, the encouragement, the peace. But your brain, your mind, and your nervous system are not trained to find it in here and now. So they say, wherever you go, there you are. So as soon as you buy the Porsche or you move to the city and get the apartment, or you say, I'm done with this life and I'm going to Bali, I'm going to get a girlfriend, you're going to show up in that space. And your brain is going to be very excited at first because of the newness and the unfamiliarity and the actual excitement that you're experiencing with that. But soon, after a little bit of momentum and familiarity builds, your brain and your mind will both go, oh, we actually need a Lamborghini, a mansion out in the countryside. I don't really like Bali. Let's go to Italy, right? Because you are bringing with you the conscious programming to look for and find flaws within your current reality. And so all you will do is then need some other delusion to find yourself creating some other crazy solution to find fulfillment, and you will never actually arrive because your programming, your software and your hardware, i.e., the psyche and the brain, are not conditioned to be present. Okay? Being present is very easy, but it's hard to sustain. What is presence? All it is saying, I accept reality as it is. I accept who I am, I accept others, I accept the circumstance, and I'm finding peace with all that. That's what acceptance is. It's not bliss and happiness and joy. It's literal peace, saying, I'm good with this. I accept this. That's what we're shooting for. But we have to actually kind of shoot for the moon in order to train our consciousness, our brain, and our mind to accept peace. And that's what I'm going to break down for you. So if this is resonating, this is perfectly fine. It's not your fault. You have the negative bias brain and mind. Your nervous system is being ignited from that stuff constantly. So you can't sleep, you have health problems, you're getting agitated, you're frustrated very easily, impatient, you may be yelling at the kids. You just have had enough because you're not regulated. Okay. So we have to regulate that stuff first. So we have to understand that we have to set a goal. So the intention is very important here to train consciousness. It's kind of saying consciousness, it creates your reality. It's proven by neuroscience. It's literally, you are not experiencing reality. You are interpreting it based on your experiences, based on your belief system. It's called predictive coding. Psychology says the same thing. Confirmation bias or cognitive dissonance. You're telling yourself the story that you need to hear that aligns with what you already believe. Okay. So we have to shift that into a higher space, higher conscious interpretation of reality. How do we do that? Set a goal. A goal should be easy. I want to find fulfillment and peace within my life now and give this life the chance that it deserves for me to be here and be a ride. Something like that. I just want to feel confident and proud and very grateful for small moments throughout my day-to-day life. Something easy like that. Now that we set that goal, you have to actually retrain your brain and your consciousness and your mind to then find evidence of that already being true. So one, you're going to write down that goal. You're going to write down why you believe that goal is impossible, and you're going to write down all the obstacles. And those things are really what is preventing you from achieving a great amount of success. But you need to clarify that for yourself, okay? So we just need to know what you believe about your reality that is preventing you from knowing peace and fulfillment. You're also going to write down what is good in your life. What is going on right now that is awesome? I bet you're not looking at that stuff as nearly as deeply as we could, hence the midlife crisis. So we have to write out what is good, what do I appreciate, what, again, is my goal, why do I believe I can't achieve that? Then we have to write out, why do I believe I can achieve that? So even if we have to flip the negative limiting beliefs of why we can't achieve peace and fulfillment and be creative and just step into a positive, optimistic mindset instead, that's what it takes. That's what we're trying to do, because that is us training our consciousness. So whether we stay here or we get the Porsche, we're going to find fulfillment wherever we go. So wherever we are, or wherever we go, there we are. Well, yeah, well, now we have the consciousness to find fulfillment and peace, no matter our external reality. That's what it means to be conscious, self-mastered, self-reliant in that space. So you're setting the goal. You're writing out why this is important to you, why you believe that it's going to be hard to attain, and then you're switching those and you're saying, well, this is why I deserve it. This is why I can attain it. We're building some positive momentum to encourage ourselves. Then you're going to have step 2. Remember I said we have to shoot the moon over here? You ever do, go to the gym and lift weights or do pull-ups or push-ups with a weighted vest or dips? We're overtraining the muscle so that if we had to pull ourselves up somewhere without that, it would be so much easier. That's what a gratitude practice does. It starts training both our brain and our mind to step out of the negative bias and intentionally find positivity. So it's going to be retraining our reticular activating system and building new neural networks of connection to be like, wow, if we look at life through the lens of positivity, we're going to experience positivity. What are we shooting for? Are we shooting for happiness? Nope. we're shooting for peace. So every day, go out and find 10 reasons why you're happy about your life, why you are experiencing peace, joy, or appreciation. One of those three things. So you're going to write it down. Set the intention in the morning, rather, and then you're going to go search through that stuff. Maybe make a little note in your phone or make a little note in your mind. And then at the end of the day, you're going to take out a little journal and you're going to write out those 10 reasons. I'm grateful for experience because it made me feel emotion. And you're going to write that down and then read that over and just kind of marinate in how that makes you feel. After 3 days, you're going to experience a shift. Okay. Now we have the goal and now we have the recipe. And then we could set some other goals that will find more fulfillment, which will come in future videos. But this is just step 1 and 2 of my 3-step formula for stepping outside of inner suffering and stepping into conscious self-mastery. I have a link on my website. It's the workbook. It's a very minimal investment, like $27. And it walks you through this entire process really, really definedly there and helps you completely transform your conscious state of being. What you're going through is not your fault. You've never been taught this stuff, most likely, but now your heart, your soul, your spirit is bringing it to your attention because you are ready. So I am really excited for you because this is going to be a huge change and a very big, beautiful new journey. And you may just find a lot of love in the life you're living. It may persuade you to kind of step outside of that, but either way, you're going to win because you're training your consciousness. So be sure to subscribe. Check out that link on my website. I'll link that below in the description. Please ask questions in the comment section. I am here to help you out. And just know you are not alone. This happened to me and a lot of other men for different reasons. But if you see this through, it's going to probably be the absolute best investment you've ever made in yourself, for your loved ones, for your profession, for your identity, your confidence, your pride, for everything. So I wish you well, and I'm here for you, and I will see you in the next video.